everybody, let's go. Let's go. Nigga, let's go. Let's go. To a motherfucking place that you ain't never been to, but keep it on the low. Where you can absolutely, positively kick it on the side of the stove. Sipping on that 4-0. Nigga, fuck the 5-0 with your pit bull. Don't let them roam around, though. On the pack of the loud, go ahead, you can blow. Ain't a motherfucking noose on the aisle. Already been burnt on a pile. You ain't never ever gotta worry with your motherfucker would put the gun to the back of the head of a child. Go wild. Welcome to the land of the colored. All we do is win, never suffer. Ain't no cops in the cover. Where every kid on the block never had a clock. And all families got a father and a mother, but we all living good. Nigga ain't got good. He delivered us cause he could. Well, they couldn't bring crack to the hood cause it ain't no hood. Tyrone and Keisha doing pretty damn good. All the kids wearing hoodies. Coming from the back of the 7-Eleven with a pack full of goodies. Skittles with a can of Arizona on deck. From a black stone store cause we mobbing like that. All black bins cause we got it like that. All black rims cause we got it like that. And we ain't gotta worry about nobody shooting us down cause we don't look suspicious. In no neighborhood watch cause we watch the kids. My mama, your mama, we all related. I'm so elated. Never in a million years would have thought a world like this existed.
Color, alley, nigga. Color, alley, bitch. Color, alley, nigga. Color, alley, bitch. Color, alley, nigga. Color, alley, bitch.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? And welcome to the channel. Today is a special day, right? Not only are the Europeans celebrating their independence, but we're going to celebrate our independence too on this day. And what I mean by that is we're taking our story back from the liars. Every time we tell our story, there's someone who wants to fit themselves in. And it's because they find out that their blood isn't as ancient on this side as it may be on somebody else's side, right? Lamar Perryman, I'll give everybody a rundown before I do get into the actual conversation. This is someone that attempts to make everyone in the Southeast a part of his nation because he truly doesn't know about his culture. A lot of people that consider themselves chiefs, a lot of people that are coming up with these splinter groups need to stop doing that. Stop speaking for us. Now, what we will do is we will talk about those that migrated into our land. That's not speaking for them. Now, he blocked me after he apologized to me for lying on me, right? After he apologized to me for lying on one of my elders, he blocks me. 2 months later, I wake up to a message, then his supposed nation has me on their website. So, y'all can free y'all mic so we actually can have this conversation.
Yo, I'm here.
All right, say less. That's what's needed. I definitely needed you here so you can you basically gonna feel what's going on spiritually, because this ain't right to do me like this. You know what I mean?
I'm here,
by that, I be rolling, bro. It's
here.
crazy. It's true. All right, I got you. I hear you. I couldn't hear you in the beginning, but let me see if I could share this real quick. One moment. Let me see. Yeah, this shit right here. This is it right here. So this is where he mentions me, right? And this is the issue that we have. Can somebody mute? Because I hear it's static. So like unmute when you coming in. Hold on. Yeah, cause he tripping. What the player, tall grass?
You say tall grass what?
Right. So tall grass in the chat. So it says origin, creation, and migration legends and stories of the Coosa. Now, I'm just gonna tell you this much. I'll send the link out. He didn't give their creation story in full, right? So part one, he talks about origin / creation and migration stories. And then he says a brief commentary on the others, right? Now, in part one, he's talking about how people have an issue with their migration stories. And now all of a sudden he's Alabama Kashada. This is what I mean. The breakup, he's gonna try to find a way to put himself in somebody's story, right? Now, we gonna find what he said about me. He says the latest, greatest, and he knows I'm the. Let me move it back up. He know I'm the greatest when it comes to being his critic because I don't like him. Says the latest, greatest critics come from the Wale origin and their band, clan, or school of thought. That criticism, speaking of Coosa, begins as such. According to the legends of the Abika, the Cousas, the Kawita, and the Kashada or Kasita, Muskogee proper speakers, migrated in a series of waves into the southeast from the west. Such places as the Red River, Rocky Mountains, and Mexico have been suggested as the speculative origins of these people, but no definite starting point for their migration has been definitely discovered. Excuse me. So he says, as we shall soon see, there is a good reason why no definite starting point for their migration has been definitely discovered. So, to say the least about this speculation. So he's considering this book that this comes from to be like the Bible for the indigenous people. It's a collection of older and newer stories on customs, practices, precepts, policy, law, and ways, right? But where he plays is he says that everyone is playing with this story, but he has it right. And if anyone can remember, what did I explain to him? I say, bro, how you gonna tell a story about the people and you admit you don't know the language? He admitted to not being able to speak Yuchi, but somehow his Kosa or Coosa ancestors have the same story as the Yuchi. This is why this has to be broken down for real. It says, and that is just where this short expose will begin and end at. To begin with, all the various branches of our peoples known as the Coosa, collectively known as the League of the Muskogees. So I will begin with the westernmost of the Coosa and the group of that area. So if we're talking about somebody migrating into the east, obviously they had to come from the west. But isn't this the guy who just posted about me for saying they come from the west, but I'm wrong? But in your branch of what you consider your Muskogee Confederation, you have a western branch. So what are you really saying about me? You ain't saying shit because you ain't got shit to say. You lost already. You waited 60 days to write some shit about me. And now I get to teach the people. So I'm going to teach the people. Now, that area is none other than New Mexico. But it includes where the fuck? So hear me out. Hear what he is saying. Where did I say they migrated from? The Rocky Mountains in the west. Right or wrong? Right.
Fact.
They say they migrate from the Rocky Mountains in the west. Only for him to say, well, it was New Mexico, Kansas, Oklahoma, Texas. Now, do I have to explain this through college football as I always do, Pa? Do I have to explain this? So are we going to act like Texas, Oklahoma, Kansas, and Colorado wasn't in the Big 12?
Right.
This is the Southwest.
Right.
We talking about ball players. Why, when Colorado State and Colorado play, or why is the Mountain West? You hear what I'm saying? Why the Mountain West? New Mexico, Colorado State, Boise State, ain't nobody hearing this shit. So let's talk about it, right? And he mentions the Wichita, right? Now it says, we will follow both the legend and the critics' post on the present matter. According to the legend itself, the people of Coosa were living in a place somewhere in the west, and the ground began to shake and rumble. This place has been identified as being the Rocky, shows that this is or was none other than the region of El Mabayas. El Mabayas, excuse me, because it's a volcano over there. Now, did it not say they came from the Rocky Mountain region? Yes.
Yes, sir.
Didn't we talk about them getting their fire from the trembling mountain?
Yes,
and Paul
sir.
say the only way the mountain gonna tremble is if it's a volcano, right or wrong.
Yes, sir.
Now, here go the fucking dagger. I'm gonna kill it off the back. I'm not even finna. I'm gonna read the rest later. Here is the dagger. Here is the dagger. My screen messing up. Hold on, y'all. Let me move a little bit because I know I was breaking up. Hold up. Don't go nowhere. Don't go nowhere. Now, this is what I mean by leave me alone. Just leave me alone. Just leave me alone. Can y'all view this screen?
It's booting up. We're waiting for it to pop up now.
Right.
Lamar. All right, I'm breaking up. Let me move out. Let me move out because I don't know. I don't know what's going on.
It just
Let me
popped
move
up
out real quick. Okay. Okay. Hold up. Hold up. Let me stay okay. Boom, boom. Let me see if I can find this real quick. Okay. So we're talking about the mountain that thundered. And I'm just gonna go thunder, thunder, thunder. So the Hiulugi, right? Then this is the Muskogee giving their story. It says that myth M1 does not describe these beings as being the Hiulugi, but it does state that at the mountain that thundered, white fire came from the east, blue fire from the south, black fire from the west, red and yellow from the north. We spoke about this already, correct?
Right.
Yep, that's in the Lenape story.
Then Pa say, hey, that sound like Lenape story too. Facts. So what happens? Hold on, let me pull this up. Let's look up El Mabayas. El Mabayas, right? it says it's Spanish for the Badland. Now, not only is it Spanish for the Badland, but we're going to go into where it's located. So when I say the Rocky Mountains, and a Negro has an issue with me saying the Rocky Mountains, as if El Matthias isn't a part of the Rocky Mountains, this Negro is someone who likes to try to confuse people. He didn't think I was going to see this and read it. Now, not only is it located at the southern tip of the Rocky Mountains, what else did I say about the Muskogee? Can y'all see this video? Look at this. The land of frozen fire. Does this not sound familiar? We're talking about a Nazi in this the river of ancient fires. We're talking about a group of people that claim to have migrated up out of the Rocky Mountains. That's a proper term today, and so is El Matthias. But the idea, the place remains the same. Now, what did the Muskogee say about their creation story? And again, Muskogee is considered a vast group of people, but we're talking about the original people, right or wrong?
Right.
I need y'all. We gonna read this together. See, this is why I tell people I don't debate. Ain't nobody can stand against me with this because niggas don't do the work for real. They don't do the work for real. Why is it not searching? Something going wrong. It don't see. Nah. You gotta search this. Hold on. Share this tab instead. I don't know why I didn't share the first time. Hold on. Let me see if I can find this. Of the earth. But I know I read this book a lot because this shit it comes to me, bro. Now, where am I find this? Because when we talk about them saying that they come up out of the earth, here we go.
When
This
they're
is
coming
talking
out of
about
the earth, they mean they come out of a cave.
Oh man.
Big
hey,
cave.
yeah. Watch this. And here's the dagger. This is why I tell people don't debate me, right? So we talk about them coming up out of the earth, right? And it even say that it says it's talking about the Alabama Cashada. This is who we talking about. This is the book he referenced. So don't talk to me about no book, and you don't fucking have the book. I'm reading the PDF, but the actual book is right here on the table. I have it. Don't talk to me about some shit you didn't read for real. The Alabama Cashadi were made of clay, were made from clay in a big cave under the earth. They lived in this cave long before time. They lived in this cave a long time before some of them decided to go to the surface. Where? To the surface of the earth. So this means that you were inside the earth. Am I right or wrong?
Right.
Are y'all ready for the Dagger family?
And look, and I said that shit before even reading the book.
Right. Man, we always see that light
it.
up there shining. I wonder what that is.
But hear me out. You heard what read? I always see that light up there shining. What the fuck is that? Not only were they made of clay, they were made from. I ain't gonna give him that bone. Fuck it. But these the people he say the Wale come from. I'm finna get in this. I'm finna show him. Let me share this tab. This is the El Matthias volcano. This is the hole in the ground they come up out of. How are you going to tell me I got the story wrong? How you going to tell me I got the story wrong? How? Anybody? How
You
we
ain't
gonna
got
get
it
this right?
wrong. Hey, we getting put in a position to teach people their true creation stories and shit like that.
We teaching them their own because now we're gonna go back to the bullshit he said.
And you know what? And you know,
Now,
and you know, and you know what the sad thing
this is
about
where
it
it gets
is?
sick. Stop talking about me. Talk to me. Go ahead.
You know what the sad thing about it is? This is why you have those
Talk to me.
Caucasoid Asians saying people who are melanated like us are werewolves because they don't know their creation story. That's why. When
They
you
don't
know your creation
they don't know their
story,
own story.
you don't know your language. That's why they call you a werewolf. That's why you call because you don't
Facts.
know your creation story, you don't know your migration story, you don't know your language. But we got you. We got you.
And here's facts. Facts. And here's the thing, right? Here's the thing with this. After I tell this story and I tell you exactly where you come from, you take a piece from the book where the authors say it speculated. You give a definite place that we already gave, but never have you ever went there and seen the whole of the mouth or the navel of the earth that you come out of. You come out the volcano. This is your original mound. Uh-oh. This is
And
why
guess what?
mound.
And
Go
don't
ahead.
they look like an any? And don't they look like an any navel? Look at it. Don't they look like an any
It looked
navel?
like an innie. They say they come out the navel of the earth.
Yep, that's it.
Backs up. This is their shit. But you saying that I'm telling the story wrong, right? Then you say these are the Alabama Kashada. These are the same people that I was speaking on. But you say the timeline of the activity at El Mapias is calculated to be between 113 and 150,000 years ago. That don't mean y'all was there at that time. It's talking about the formation. If the shit would have blew up, you wouldn't have been there during the time of the formation nor the cooling. This is what I'm talking about. This is what I'm talking about. Silly shit, right? So he says the next, of course, is the Red River, Texas and Oklahoma. Didn't I say don't make me make this about college football? When Texas and Oklahoma play, what do they call it? The Red River Shootout. This is Western shit. So how are you upset with me for showing the story only for you to talk about me and then confirm the shit that I'm saying, brother? You not disagreeing with me. You actually proving my point. But you just wanted to talk about Wale Origins. That's why I changed my name. It's in too many people's mouths. You just want to talk about me. Right? So he says, to make this comment here, let me see. To make this comment here very short, I will simply put the links to El Mapias and the Red River of Texas and Oklahoma in this brief expose, so the reader can see how they both relate to, or they both relates to, or links to New Mexico, Texas, Oklahoma, and even what? Colorado is the fifth place where the Coosa or Muskogee in cave at. Did I not just fucking mention Colorado?
Yes,
But
you
you want to
did.
talk about the Rockies?
Yes, you
So
did.
now that puts you up there with the Lenape, as I said 15 minutes ago.
Yep.
We know who you are for
Colorado
real.
Buffaloes. Yep.
The Colorado, the Buffalo, because they said when they got to Colorado, there was a place where the buffaloes lived, and they could tell because they made caves for the humans to live.
Right. Right,
This is the
man.
Lenape and the Muskogee story. Y'all niggas is
Right.
cousins, and you think we don't
Right.
know.
Y'all
Right.
better leave us alone, boy.
You
The
better
place where
leave
the old
us
buffaloes
alone,
roam.
We was already in the southeast
because
already.
that's part one. That's just part one. This is his part two. Now, in his part two, I'm not even going to read the most. I'm just going to watch this. We're going to read this shit. Tell a nigga that whoever his, if anybody, if he's your chief, He needs to sit down. If he is your chief, he needs to sit down. This is why Israelites never debated me. Because if I got to use your book to talk about the shit that you did, I'm going to expose you. Now, notice how he just exposed himself not to be who he really is. He says, if we can be proved wrong on this issue, we welcome it. You didn't do anything but prove me right. Think about that. Somebody who wants to be right so bad agreed with me, but think I'm wrong. What type of shit is that? On the
That's some
matter
hating
of
type
Wale,
shit.
go ahead. Pardon me. Go ahead.
I say that's some hating. I say that's some hating type shit.
The nigga's a hater. He says on the matter of the Wale and Wale origins, we hold that the Wale origins is not so shrouded in mysteries as some camps would have us to believe. But I'm not shrouded in mysteries as other camps want you to believe, but I told your whole story before you to the point you had to fucking make a website about it. They didn't have their creation story up until I told him where he came from. And did he not just agree with me? He just agreed that they come from the West. Now, here's the dagger. He says the Wale, like several others, are descendants of their mother groups. The origins of the Wale, pronounced Wali at times, is none other than a branch or sub-tribe of the Alabamos known as the Awali or the Hawali, right? Now, the Hawakli Wahali, that's how you properly say it. Hawakli Wahali. Does anyone on here know what that means? If not, it's okay. If not, it's okay. I'm going to show you where it comes from. Let me show you where it comes from. I'm going to show you why outsiders shouldn't say shit about the Wale. You ain't got nothing to say about us, brother. You not us for real. Now, when you look at this, right, say speakers of the Muskogee dialect of the Muskogee language included the Abika, Coosa, Kaweta, Kashida, Howakli, Wahali, Ufula, Hilabib, Wakokli, Takabachi, Okai, or Okja, Pakana, and Seminole. These are people, these last people here are those that took on the language that was considered to be Muskogee because they were conquered by the Muskogee speaking people. That's a fucking fact.
And that's
Number
what
fucking
after,
two for
and that was
everybody.
after they came east
Go ahead.
from the west. That's when they came from
Facts.
the west coming
So when
to
they
the east.
came from the west, they named these people that. So number two, it says the ancestors of the Tuckabachi, the Kliwali, right? The Kliwahali were once in the fog or vapor which prevented them from seeing each other. The Kliwahali wanted to see the Tuckabachi very much. And finally, the fog was blown away so that they could do so. If you ask the Muskogee who's their oldest clan, they will tell you Wind Clan because wind is what blew the fucking fog away. Do I have to go show someone that's enrolled to prove this? Do I have to show someone who's not enrolled?
Show them better.
Let me
You
show
can tell
them.
them.
Say less.
Show them
Say
better.
less. Let me just go on Facebook and pull it up since I'm making this up, you know.
Because we're not shrouded in mystery. It's
what are
only
you
mystery
doing?
to those that don't know. It's only mystery to those that don't know. We ain't shrouded in
Those that
mystery.
don't know.
Yeah, we're not
Us is
shrouded
my
in mystery.
story.
Right.
Facts. Why would it be a mystery and it's my story?
Right. There's no mystery at all.
So
why should
crazy,
we be
man.
shrouded in it? Right.
Hold on. Let me see if I can let me pull this post up on Facebook. And what's crazy, wait, while that's pulling up, let me finish this. It says, at last they said, who are you? They answered, we are the Hogli Walis, right? The Hogli Wahalis, because that Kli get me every time. The Hogli Wahalis, those who cut the war in two. For anyone that doesn't know, For anyone that doesn't know, every war town was considered those who cut war in two. Every red town was considered a Hokli Wahali. Hokli Wahali. Every war town was considered that. So to say that the Wale come from the Hokli Wahali is to say that, did I not say that we have cousins in Alabama and Louisiana originally that's on the coast that are Shatta that emerged from those waters? Do I not talk about our
Hey,
Yep,
Hichiti
yep.
cousins that migrated from
hey.
South America up to North America before the Gulf was even full? Like the Gulf was rivers. When the Hichiti left the South and migrated up, it wasn't even the ocean that it is today. These niggas didn't exist. But they got so much to say about our people. So you say that Wale are a subgroup of the Alabamans, right? Now, let me show you, let me make this make sense for people. Uh let me make this make sense for people. Let me see if I can find this. Let me make this make sense, right? Now he says they're intermixes with the Yuchi, and later on the Timucua and Yamasis is too self-evident to be a source of question and confusion. Did we ever deny mixing with the Timucua and the Yamasi? Nope.
Never denied it.
We
Never
never
denied
denied that. We fucking speak Timucua and Hichiti. You literally. So what is that for, right? Their chieftain was originally located in Florida along with the Timucua, this whole region in the southeast being called La Florida by the Spanish. Tell us what we called it. And if you tell us what we called it, why did it just go from the East Coast to the Mississippi and all the way up to Ohio? Oh, you ain't know that.
it. And say it in our
You ain't know that.
language too. Say it in our
It's
language.
in our language. And it's in our language. I'm not going to give you the word until you meet with your Lenape cousins, because we're going to make y'all niggas apologize. He said the first problem is this: you will never understand any of the creation, origin stories, and migration legends and tales until you first understand the matriarchal and matrilineal complex in our society at large and the lures behind them. Number one, the Muskogee were not originally a matrilineal people. They were not originally matrilineal. They were patrilineal. This is why the chief bloodline ran through who? His fucking daddy. This is why, all right. This is why there was a clash when they got to the east. The systems were completely
Right.
different.
Right.
These systems were completely different. But again, like you say, they're called abos and wabos because they don't know their story. You got so much to say about me saying that you come from the Rocky Mountains, that you say, I'm going to pinpoint where we come from. But you don't consider that the Rocky Mountains? They're stupid as hell when it's literally the southern tip of the mountains. All of those mountains were volcanoes and are, excuse me, a majority. And when they start popping off, that pushed y'all to the east. We couldn't find nothing good in our land. You couldn't see the sun. That's why you went to look for the sun, because the smoke clouded the sky. Oh, you ain't know that, did you? He didn't know that. But you want to
Oh,
write
but he know
on your
now.
website
Oh, but he know now.
about me. This is ridiculous. This shit is ridiculous. I don't know what's up with Facebook, but it's not letting me pull down my messenger. Like, I'm not used to using Facebook on the computer anyway, but it's not letting me pull down my messenger. And this shit is kind of like, it's bugging me, to be honest. Cause like the message you sent me just still there. Like I cannot pull the fucking screen down for nothing.
Oh, go to your
Like I can't
share.
pull the screen down to actually
Go go
show.
to your share. Look, go to your share, and you go see it, and you go see where it's gonna say Facebook message, and click it, and it should come on.
Nah, it's still there. Like I don't hold up.
Oh, when you go to messages, make the whole page a message
Hold
page,
on.
and then just click onto it.
All right. Let me see. Let me see, y'all. Bear with me one moment. Let me try to find this. It's still popping up. Like this shit dumb. Like I don't get it. Like this shit dumb. It's not letting me drop the screen for some reason. Yeah, it's not letting me drop the screen. So they definitely doing me right now. No matter what I do, the message is literally just right in front of smack in front of the screen. Like I didn't see it already. So let me try something else. Man, fuck. I ain't gonna lie. Frustrate me trying to actually pull it up. Trying to actually pull it up ain't gonna do nothing but frustrate me. So like I don't even think I want to even try to pull it up, bro. Like it's not letting me pull it up. They doing me dirty right now. Like, yeah, that message is literally smack in front of the screen. Like I read the message 3 hours, and I read it on my phone too. So I really don't get it. Give me 1 second. Anybody still in the chat? Because I'm not looking at the screen. This shit's still popping up. This shit is retarded, bro.
Yeah, they have people in the chat.
Let me see. All right. Let me see. I don't know. It's not letting me pull up what I need to pull up. It's just like keep smacking the messages in front of me. Like I just want to pull up the post. You feel me? I just want to pull up the fucking post, but it ain't letting me. This shit is keep going to my messenger for some reason. Like this shit is not leaving my messenger, dog. I'm freezing. Let me see what's up with this Wi-Fi, bro. I'm literally right here. One moment. This all right, so let me do a 30-second reset so I can get back started. Let me do a 30-second reset. Let me do a reset. Hey, what's going on, everybody? So this is gonna be part 2 about whooping Lamar Perryman's ass, right? Because he's a clown. Now I will say this: my wife say it might be something wrong with that Ethernet like that because I'm trying to pull down my messenger so we can continue the bill, but for some reason, right? For some reason, um it's showing everything, and it's still not letting me pull down actually pull down the screen. So if I do find this post, and I need y'all to pray that I find this post, it'll be at the luck of some spiritual force, because I'm gonna share this and show you that like they're not letting me pull down my messenger, y'all. I don't know what's going on. There we go. I got it. Finally. Fucking finally. There we go. That's the help I needed. That's the help I needed. So what I'm looking for now, I'm looking for this post where someone who is Muskogee, Kuwita to be exact, actually agrees with my take on their creation story, but not their creation story, excuse me, their migration story. And the problem with Lamar or with Perryman is he's a pretender. And with him being a pretender, that man really don't know what's going on. This is why he had to make that website. And how ironic is it that you 50, bro? You 50, bro. You blocked me, and then you went and made a post about me on your website. So, couple things that we do have confirmed. We have confirmed that yes, his people did migrate from the west. That's what we have. Matter of fact, let me see if I can search this through Cuz name. We have them at El Mabayas uh, volcano, and that's the navel of the earth you came out of. Your people were came down from the sky or came up out of the water onto the land in the southeast. Not once does his story say that. And the reason his story doesn't say that is because, again, it's not him. But he needs you to believe that it's him because he claims to be Coosa. He claims to be Coosa. He claims to be fucking Uchi, right? He claims to be Uchi. He claims to be fucking Wale. He claimed to be Yamasi. And he did all of this because we told him to stop speaking for people. And with us saying that, it becomes this. You literally took your time. You literally took your time and wasted it.
We like to see we like to say peace to everybody that's joining in this morning, Bill. You know, get your breakfast, you heard me. Get your pencil, your paper, your notebook, your note tablet, and everything. Y'all getting it raw and uncut. We giving y'all that real cocaine, you heard me, with no admixtures, no fentanyl. You getting it pure and cut. Go ahead, nephew, do your thing.
Nah, thanks for that, because I needed the reset. I'm still looking for this particular bro confirmed it, but it's like shit. I don't even really need bro to confirm it for the simple fact that Perryman confirmed it for us. We everything, everything he said to try to shit on us backfired. It literally backfired. because you said he said that he will both follow the legend and the critics' posts. But my post said nothing different than what he said. The only difference between the posts was I never gave the definite place. It's not for me too. And the reason I didn't do it is because he did exactly what I needed him to do. You give me the place. So now you can't deny the shit when I'm talking about it. You said this. You put your people here in the Rocky Mountains. You put your people here in the Rocky Mountains. Ain't these the areas you said your people encompass? I'm done. My 45 minutes is up.
That's what he said, quote unquote. That's what he said.
Hold on. I'm about to switch over from the laptop to the phone so we can actually build. You know, y'all can actually be able to hear me for real now.
Yeah.
Hold on.
And see, and what people in them don't fail to realize is you are really dealing with real Southeastern Indians. We know pretendians, we know werebos, we know abos. We know our story. And then you know what the sad thing is? We know y'all story better than y'all know y'all story. And y'all say y'all books is y'all Bible. Well, how y'all don't know y'all Bible better than us, but we know it better than you? Make that make sense. Make that make sense. And then when we show y'all where it's at, y'all turn around and say, "Oh, that's that's European interpretation." Like, nah, we got it from y'all book. But yet you say that was the European interpretation. Well, how could it be the European interpretation unless you told it to him and he wrote it for you?
Facts. Actual facts. Now I say, like, see, he played. And he know he played because this is where you sent us. Like, let me show you what they were living in when they were out here. You know what they were living in. So people, let me show the people.
Oh yeah.
What these people were living in when they were out here. They were living in the lava fields. They're called lava tubes. Let me pull it up. This is what they were living in. So let's make this story make sense. So when the Muskogee say they come out the navel of the earth, we found the volcano, right? Then they say
Right.
they were in the caves. These are the caves, right? Right?
Yep. That was the case.
Matthias. These are the caves. So when I say the Muskogee migrated from the west, and they came out of the mouth of the earth, or excuse me, the navel of the earth, that's a mountain. That's a volcano. And right, the Spanish consider it the bad country. And the reason they considered the bad country is because there were rivers of frozen fire, meaning what? The shit was moving slow.
Right.
It was moving slow. So eventually, when it exploded again, you say, shit, we got to go ahead and head to the east. That's literally what you did.
And you know what the other headbanger is, nephew? Let's
Talk
drop it
to
for
me.
the people right here. When you hear the Muskogee say they came from out of the mound, now you know doggone well that the mound, you don't come out of no mound. But another
You don't,
word for mound
okay.
is mountain. Another word for mound is mountain. So they came out of
Is
the mountain, the caves.
facts, which are the caves. So when they say we came out of the mound in the mound in the earth that they're talking about, because in their language, it's Ikonlak. Ikonlak is a mound or a mountain. So at what point, again, I'm going to ask again, at what point did I lie when I said they come from the west, from the volcanoes and caves, and they came over here conquering people? That was their only objective. Then you say
Right.
the Wale come from a specific group of Alabama, when that is not even a group of Alabama. It's a designation for all war towns. And the only reason you said that is because you see a word that says Wale. But that don't mean the southern place. That Wale literally means to divide, because Hukli Wahali literally means the towns that divide war in two. But you don't know the language, brother. You don't know the
And,
language. So
and
when I
do he not
ask you, go ahead,
and do he not
pardon me.
and do he not know that Alabama or Alabama meaning good hunting ground?
Right. And he don't understand that the Muskogee and the Alabama went to war originally. That's the first people they got on. Who are you really claiming to be, brother? Who are you for real?
Right. Right, because that's where the Muskogee and the Lenape met down there in Alabama.
Right. Because they end up linking in Alabama. They
Right.
met here because they got corn. They went up. Hold up, one moment. But so what I'm really trying to understand is, what was the point of making this about me when right here on this screen, it's going to change over in a moment, you literally say the same shit that I said. He says, so I will begin with the westernmost area of the Coosa, the group from that area. That area is none other than Mexico, but includes two other states as well, Texas and Oklahoma. Kansas is the fourth. He's going to follow the legend first. And he says, and the ground began to shake and rumble. I'm on camera saying this months ago. This is the crazy shit. But I want to get down to where he was talking about the name. Let me go back when he was talking about us in part 2. Hold up. Let me get this to stop moving. One moment. Let me see what we got. Hold on. Hold up. All right, so this is part 2. So it says, in the same collection of origin, creation, story, and migration tales, legends, and stories, it is said that the Coositas, upon coming to the east, came into the towns and villages that the Cousas were already at and had been there from the old times. Didn't this guy? This is the game they want to play. When they migrated over here, they were given land in the east. So when that second wave came in, they settled in the same towns that they were already in. But he's writing it as if they were originally there.
And it wasn't.
They were not. On the other hand, the Alabamans and Casitas say they both came out of the ground together at a certain place in or between Alabama and Mississippi. Now, let me ask this question. This is what he say, they say, right? It says, all of the propagated stories that have pretended the Alabamas came from the Red River of the Northwest, such as Montana and Canada, have been dismissed as late fabrications due to colonial sources and misinformation. Didn't this guy just mention the Red River in Texas and Oklahoma? Why the fuck are we focused in the North? You see the game? Do you all not see the game?
Right.
He admitted they come from the Red River in Oklahoma and Texas. That's a part of the Rocky Mountain region. But he's trying to exclude himself from the northern region. Don't do that, because your Lenape cousins was up there, brother. He say, okay, so he's talking about, I don't give a fuck about that. We're talking about his lies. We're going to go through his website and talk about his lies. Now, back to this. He says that we are a subgroup of the Alabama. How are we the subgroup of the Alabama when our stories say that we first rose up in which river? You have a Savannah origin story. You have a Little and Great Ogeechee story. You have other stories where our people washed up on those washed up on the land. And he tried to limit us to Florida. Let me show y'all something real quick. Hold on, let me put up another map. Hold on, let me show y'all something real quick. This is why stop trying to tell other people's stories. Hold on, let me find this real quick. Because there's no way. Listen, fool had to be drunk writing that shit. All them damn typos he got in there, and all the times he done contradicted his own story. He has a problem. This Negro has an issue. So I'm going to pull up this map. I have an issue with this map for one reason, and the Timucua know this reason. It's because they separated us from the nation's map. There was a nation, and let me show you. This is why he wants to be included in our story. Let me show you when they migrated over here. Let me show you. Let me show you what these invaders did when they got over here. All of this was a part of Kofa Tachikwi. And so was Wale. Coosa were given land. And when they were given land, do you know what these motherfuckers did? They called in their Lenape cousins. And they began to take down the nations. They began to take down the capitals and the Talua. How in the hell in the 1500s was our people speaking Muskogee. It's because the freaking Coosa were the goddamn invaders. He don't want to talk about that though. That's not something he would want to talk about. And the reason he wouldn't want to talk about it is because it exposes him for not knowing his story for real. See, as a slime ball, because he's literally a ball of snot, is literally what this man is. He's a ball of snot. Let me show you what he attempted to do as if we don't know this already. And right here today, I'll explain it on live so y'all can run it back. One of my own cousins fell back from me because of this, and I know it because I had to explain to him that the Yuchi were migrants too. But they don't make up, it's not just one group of migrants. It was a group of migrants that start siding with the Coosa and siding with the Lenape, and they went up north, and the Timucua said, shame, shame, shame. And the way the Timucua say shame is Yuchi, fucking Yuchi. The Yuchi that went to Tennessee, the niggas were slave raiders. They was doing it before the Europeans was even here. And they helped the Lenape. They helped the Coosa. Enslaved the original Timucua and Wale before there was a European that landed on our shit. These are the niggas that want to debate us. and come back in here. So all I'm saying is this: when it comes to this, if you're not us, please shut up. Many people want to talk about the origins of the Wale, and they aren't Wale. Many people want to talk about us mixing with the Tamukwa. Those are our cousins. They want to talk about us mixing with the Yamasi. A handful of the Yamasi are our cousins. But he will try to use that to say we aren't who we are, as if mixing with them make us less than what we are. It doesn't. That's European shit. That's a crack of science. That's a crack of science. Listen, we've been doing this for so long. There was no reason for him to come at me. Give me one moment. Let me get right. Hold on. Let me get this good food. Hold on, y'all. Pardon me for that, everybody. I had to grab my food. But let's get back to it. So what I'm saying is, If y'all see me on live, why would you call? I don't get it. That's what they do. But again, our whole thing is Wale is defending our shit. We're tired of getting lumped up with everybody. Everybody want to tell their story, want to talk about us. You ask them, are they us? They're going to tell you no. They'll even tell you they went by our name. But that don't make you us, brother. That's aggravating. You got people telling their story, and now that we're telling our story, they want to attach themselves. Well, shit, we mixed in. Fuck that. Oh, that's ours. You wasn't here long enough. You wasn't here long enough. I don't give a fuck who it is. You wasn't here long enough. Stop claiming shit on that coast. When you migrated there, there's nothing wrong with migration. There's something wrong when you come to somebody else's house. Imagine somebody come to your house as a visitor, and all of a sudden they claiming your shit is theirs. You pass away, they give your shit to their grandchildren. That's literally what the Coosa did. That's literally what a lot of groups of Yamasi did. And you know what the fuck? A lot of Wale helped them niggas. They helped them. That's why I don't deal with everybody. That's why when people ask me about enrollment, I laugh. Or I only respond to those of you who may even be watching. Because I feel like you fam. But why would I unify with anybody that's Wale when there was a lot of them doing the dirt along with these niggas? When the Yamasi was on horses raiding Florida, a lot of Wale was with them niggas. A lot of Uchi was with them niggas. Lenape, Westo. And they came to raid the Wale that wouldn't change. The Wale that wouldn't change. They was killing Wale's for being Christian and for not being Christians. They was killing Wale for breathing. Or the people they considered Wale at that time. Or that nation of Yupa, right? The people that were had to start defending themselves against the people from the interior. Nobody want to talk about this. Nobody want to talk about why Wale didn't really use black paint in war. But somehow everybody that's claiming to be Wale be having black paint. Why nobody use, and I'm going to say it, and I guarantee you we see it in the coming up. Why nobody ever use yellow paint? Blue paint? Never seen it, huh? But they claiming to be those people that come from the blue and the yellow. Oh, we mixed in. Did you mix in? How did you mix in? Wale was done so wrong that after we had fought the English and a specific group of Yamasi over our shit and won, they stopped calling us Wale and started calling us Yamasi. And the reason they did that is because they had to show the crown that we didn't exist anymore so they could have our lands. And when they did that, everybody on the coast became known as Yamasi. Everybody. Whether you were that or not. Right? And then after those that was doing us wrong started getting done wrong, what did the Yamasi do? And when I say Yamasi, that's the double S double E. We're talking about now, we're talking the Confederation. What did they do? They came to Florida, Georgia, Louisiana, Mississippi, all the way up to Ohio, and called their people back and said, hey, look, we sorry. We want to fight them. And we say, bro, we supposed to have been fighting them, but we'll come help you.
And we went up there and helped them. And we almost won the war. You know who stopped us from winning the war? They're Cherokee brothers. Ani Gidua. Because the Kidua had Yamasi daddies. The Kidua had nigga daddies according to the European. To them, there was Yamasi. And that group of Yamasi that fathered them, they were spared from their hand. Because they were their ancient people. So what's really going on? What I'm saying is, before there's a European, we were already at war with each other. East versus West. Simple. When the Europeans got here, war became more deadly. Niggas was healing up from getting cut, getting hit over the head, get their ass knocked out. You could heal from that. When the guns came into play, it got worse. When lynching came into play, oh, it got a lot worse. But what happened when the Wale beat the Scots, beat the Englishmen, and beat the Westo at the same time? We didn't even have guns yet. Got on that ass. And they came 2,000 deep, trying to mess with the Temuka. And we clicked up and got on that ass. He should have never did this. Because for someone that was an inquiring mind, myself, there were things that I wasn't so sure of. And boy, knowing that I was on point is the craziest part about it all. Because he said he was going to prove me wrong, only to agree with me. That's why I don't get it. And that's why he will forever be a clown to me. Because you apologized to me in the public, and then you blocked me and tried to make a website about me. That's some sneaky, freaky shit. And I know you was drunk when you was writing that. I could tell. I know he was drunk writing that. So, if your bloodline comes from the East, and you hear these stories where you hear about the Muskogee or the Muskogee, that wasn't created to the 1800s. Cherokee, 1800s. Seminole, 1800s. So why argue about some shit that's recent? That ain't ancient blood. They was created after they was getting rid of the ancient peoples and putting them on plantations. That's why only we can tell our stories, because we got them. But the Coosa were definitely given land in the East after they came raiding. But why? stories say that if it wasn't for the Hichiti, them people probably would have helped the Lenape conquer everything. The Hichiti say, bro, listen. We know what y'all want. Y'all just want some land that y'all can call y'all own, bro. Here you go. And then you lost it to DeSoto. But you this big, powerful chiefdom, they got the ass handed to them by DeSoto. This big, powerful chiefdom. This Western chiefdom. Before I do go, I have 4 minutes left on here. Are there any questions about the migration or origins of any of these people? You could drop them in the chat or Facebook or on YouTube. I can see them on YouTube. Anybody got any questions? Go ahead and drop those questions about their migration and all of that good stuff. Oh, they did me dirty yesterday. They did me dirty. Hold up. Let me take this out of here. Let me see. Yeah, let me scroll. And again, my whole point, or the point for this was, y'all are gonna run into a lot of people. You're gonna run into a lot of people that aren't who they say they are. You gotta do your work on them people. For real, you really have to do your work on them. See, I know you mentioned the Uchi before, but I'm still confused on the migration. What is there anything in particular you need me to, or you would like me to go over about their story? Because again, it's not one story, right? The different groups of Uchi, they come from different places. So even those who have a story saying that the land of the sunrise was Scandinavia, we know that's bullshit. But the Zoya, the actual people who called themselves Zoya, them people migrated here, and they migrated to the savannah, and they know that. And when they tell their story, they say the only people that were in the southeast were the Lenape. It's a lie. So what we're dealing with when we deal with the Yuchi is just that, a shameful people. You'll never be able to put it all together because one, they're not one people. And two, they mix and mash their story because they found out that they weren't the ones that built Cahokia as they previously thought. The ones that come from the South come from South America. Let someone else to tell you Africa, right? But they aren't the only ones with an Africa story. So niggas need to stop acting like, not you, but people gonna have to stop acting like they are. But there are other tribes that say they come from Africa. When they say they come from the South, then people were island jumping. They were jumping, and they landed up here. When they got up here, they did their evil works and they were put out. All of them, the majority of them come from the South. The majority of them migrated up from the South. They followed those rivers in order to get to the lands of what we know today as Cahokia, right? And when they got up there, that's when they met the other groups of people, warring people that were conquering from the east. So that's that group of Yuchi. Once we say Yuchi, we're talking about those people in the north, or those that got pushed to the north. When you're talking about the Zoya, the original Zoya, a majority of those people come up out of South America. Now I know there are those that say they have Savannah River origins. They'll say that, but then to say that and try to enroll in Tennessee is crazy as hell to me. Don't make no sense. I would never understand that one. That won't be something that I'll ever understand. Any other questions about migration, creation, about the Wale that I could answer here before I do log off? I am at that 1:30 mark, but if we got questions or anything, I definitely sit up here and build with y'all. Cause I know Pie and Red Crane, they had disappeared on me a while ago. I ain't say nothing though.
Oh nah, I'm still here. I'm in this bit
Nah,
making
boy.
your cousin some breakfast.
Nah, boy.
Nah, I'm here. Trust me. I'm here.
It says so there's still ancient beef. How can that be resolved? Everything doesn't have a resolution. If it does, if we will say everything has a resolution, I'll say this much. So let me correct myself on that. I don't like them people. The only way that we can resolve that is if everybody tell the facts of the matter. It's not about the truth. It's not about perception, right? A lot of people be like, well, it happened this way, and I got a story, you got a story, you got a story. But that's how we perceived it. We all even looked at it from different angles, right? So what needs to happen is the facts of the matter need to be presented. There's no way that the UT in Tennessee will say mound building began with the Olmec when there are mounds in the southeast that are older than the Olmec. So of course, those that aren't Olmec and that come from the mound builders that the Olmec went to war against feel some type of way. Of course, the people that aren't originally Muskogee, and I know I lost 2 watchers. They must be the ones that claim to be Olmec. It's all good. I don't give a fuck. Y'all not even from here anyway. Y'all took the Micaiah land anyway. So the Olmec, matter of fact, and a lot of the Olmec are Asians. A lot of the Olmec come from the Lenape. So y'all Asian ass. Now, like I said, it's always gonna be beef until they give the facts of the matter. They're not gonna do that though. And the reason they won't do it is because see, they outnumber us right now, right? So if they were to tell the story as they've been telling the story, the majority of the people gonna rock with the story their way.
Mm-hmm.
Not knowing it's somebody else who got a piece of the story. There's always gonna be beef until they tell the story properly. Not once has any of these people explained how they built the mounds that they were living in when the Europeans got here. They all say, I don't know. None of them look like, appear like, or are the people that they're putting out of the mounds.
Right.
But you claim in the Southeast? Really? Really? Hey, mama.
Hell no.
Greetings, everybody. Greetings.
Hello.
What's going on, mother? So with bro, this the thing, cuz, and a lot of people just want to be the oldest. That's not our point. That's not the point we were trying to make, right? The point we were trying to make is that we have a story of our own.
Hell
A
no.
lot of people say they migrated up to America or to North America, excuse me, once things started to heat up. A lot of people say they came across the Bering Straits. Some say they came from Africa. You got people that came over here from what for present day Europe. But our stories say that we've always been here.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people want that story.
Right.
A lot of people need that story. Because without that story, they aren't the original inhabitants.
Mm-hmm.
Because we got cousins that migrated from South America, right? We got cousins that migrated or emigrated because they were coming into present day Africa.
Right.
So we don't have a problem with knowing people came in. Our cousins from Peru. We have an issue when you try to make these things that predate you yours. Give the facts of the matter. Let them know that they belong to a people that were there before you, that you are connected to through camaraderie.
Mm-hmm.
Let them know that when you got there, they taught you and you taught them. Instead of making it seem like they're the subordinate because you have the bigger name, right? So, like I said earlier, cuz some of them come from South America. But
Right.
even all of the people in South America don't have the same origin.
Right. But the crazy
Because
thing
you have
is, a
those in
lot of them
Peru.
know it.
Say that again, cuz.
The crazy thing is, a lot of them know it.
A lot of them know it. Facts. And when you get to certain places in South America and they say their ancestors came from the West on boats. When people say the Mayans mention Lemuria, why don't they ever tell the world that Lemuria or Ulmuria was the original name, was an indigenous name for Australia?
Hmm.
And they have cave drawings of this.
Right.
You have people that were Wale that were shipped to South America or that went to South America, which confuses people because they think, well, that means that their origin must be down there. It's the furthest thing from the facts of the matter.
Right.
You have those that say, well, we originated in North America, we migrated to South America, and we came back. My question is, where were you? Where were you? We weren't the only ones here, but where were you?
Mm-hmm.
And somebody say, oh, well, we had to leave because it was too cold. And I say, well, about what time y'all left? Around the last ice age. And I'm like, okay, it was plenty of ice ages. But you gave me the last ice age because there's more information about that one than any other.
Mm-hmm.
Not knowing Florida was only 4 degrees different.
Right.
and 400 miles wider. Which explains what? Why the people in the southern tip of Central America ended up branching off and coming to Florida when
Right.
war hit their land. And cuz when they landed over here, what did they bring with them? A food product?
Right. Corn.
Thank you. They brought corn. That wasn't ours originally.
Mm-mm.
We were going through a famine. And the reason we were going through the famine is because, as they were saying, that water started to push down.
Mm-hmm.
These are the origins of the other flood stories. Because Carolina and Florida were further in the Atlantic than they are today. So even the lands that we had to get back to because of the floods are still more in the interior than they were 18,000 years ago. So,
Mm-mm-mm.
and if you left 20,000 years ago or wherever, just do that for us, right? Because we know, like it was explained earlier, before the Gulf was the Gulf, there were rivers there. It was land, there were rivers.
Right.
So the thing about it is, when they tell their story, why they story don't do it like our story or even the host of Yamasi? Oh yeah, shit, we remember the Gulf was fucking rivers and shit. Oh, how did it become rivers? Oh, well, so long ago, some catastrophic happened, and it forced the water to start filling that motherfucker up. And Battle Axe says, New World, hers was the first dry land lifted out of the waters, right? And I'm not on, so I can't post the comment. That's crazy. I was gonna post it. And that we understand. And eventually, like how you say, right? It was the first dry land lifted out of the waters. Is that not a part of our creation story, Red Crane? Is that not a part of our creation story, Ma? That the land was lifted out of the water? That is definitely a part of our creation story. But those that were created when the land had dried out are the ones who have control of the land now. That's what I mean by their blood is not ancient enough. And that's literally what happened here with these creation and migrations. Those people whose blood wasn't ancient enough started to get rid of those with the ancient blood. And the reason they start doing that is because, as we found out in their own stories, is that they felt like this land was promised to them. They felt like this land was promised to them. Does that not sound familiar?
All right, nephew. Battle Axe had just said the firstborn amongst the continents, though so much later in culture and civilization than some of more recent birth America, so far as the physical history is concerned, has a false um the New World,
So you
hers was the first
denominated the new world. Okay.
lifted out of the waters, book of geological sketches, page 1. Um, another another book that talks about that is the Orient Freemasonry. Okay, but my thing is this, right? Who was there to even see the continent come out the fucking water anyway?
Land is the land.
Land is the land. You know, so
I definitely read that in that book too, but that's what I was
yeah,
going to get to. Yeah,
so they were saying, oh, and another thing, we didn't even much look at it in the concepts of continents. That wasn't even our
continents. We didn't have that concept.
right,
A continent was to us was an island.
right.
The word utagi is the same word that we would have to use today describing a continent, but it's really talking about an island.
Nephew, I don't mean to cut you off, but I like to say head to the matriarch. You know, I was walking through the house doing things and everything. So I was hearing the bill. So, you know, I'm finished doing what I'm doing. So I'm back on. I would like to say peace to the matriarch on the line. You know, so yeah.
Let me see. She probably moving around too. Ma, you heard Pa?
That's my sis right there. But yeah, man.
Yeah, she probably moving around too.
But yeah, they don't understand. They don't understand or understand or side stand or overstand what is going on here, you know. But we are here to rectify all the misinformation and everything. Yes, it's good to read a book, but until that book matches up what we say and what we know, which we really know, because that's how we put things together. You're like, oh, okay, all right, yeah. Well, we knew somebody came across the Barry Strait because they said we've been fighting with them like for 1,000 years. So, and then we come to find out, oh, that's who that was. Okay. And then when they talked about the mountain that was shaking with fire and everything, oh, okay, that's a volcano. Yay.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Like, okay. Oh, they said they came out of mounds to come from inside the earth. I said, wait, hold on. Mounds are built. So how you gonna come out of the earth when the mounds are built? No, you had to come out of a mountain or a cave. Oh, okay. Now we just gotta see where the cave's at. Oh, they're right there around the Wyoming area. Okay, the Rocky Mountain. Okay, yeah. Okay, that's where y'all been.
Hold on, let me hold on 1 second. Battle Axe. It's an article. I'm going if you could hit me up on the gram at Coosa, it's the same name that I have on here. I can send you I don't know if you've seen the article or not, but it's called America the Old World, where they were doing the geological aging, right? Where we're talking about it, excuse me, but they were testing the grounds and they were showing like the majority of the places here, the ground right itself is a lot older than other places. But what I'll say is this much: there are a lot of more ancient places that's still in the water, right? Because the land, like you said earlier, and like our story say, had to be brought up out the water, right? So it gets deep, especially when you get into the tribal information. I don't want to get on here because tribal information
It's for
sometimes
tribe.
becomes spookism.
And plus it's for tribe too.
Yeah, it's for family. So
Right.
like eventually y'all will get to it, but there's a whole thing to it, right? But what we understand though is that the land is the land. You know what I mean? It was them that began separating us by these large islands. It was their idea of what a continent is. That began to, break people off or separate people like that. But
Because even in the school system they said what? They said what is an island? They say an island is a land that's surrounded by water.
right.
Well, is not all the continents surrounded by water?
Yeah. Cause then they what they started doing was they was like, okay, well, in order to be considered an island, it got to be this big, and then for it to be a continent, it got to be this big, right? But it's like shit. That shit a land surrounded by water, bro. You know what
Right,
I'm saying? So like,
right.
what we did was we had words for the idea, what they did was try to use words to convey the idea. That's what went to messing shit up and, speaking
Right.
their shit or using their language or their format of speaking puts us in their idea of what something is, right? So
And then what most people fail to realize, by them being in the caves for so long, they couldn't even much see the stand of daylight. That's why they had to come out at
that
night. And
they
that's
had
all
to come at night, yeah.
right.
Troglodytes. They were
So
real cave dwellers. And the fact that we said this and then he creates a website about me saying what I said, but then pinpointing exactly what I said is crazy as shit because it shows what type of brown he is. Shows
mhm.
what type of N-word he really is. You get what I'm saying? It really showing what type of N-word he really is. Because to try to talk down on our people, you say, oh, well, they mixed with the Yamasi and the Tamukwa. So what? We mixed with some Africans too.
Right.
We mixed with some Africans too. Ooh, cuz that's a great ass question. She said, I wonder how they got food. You know what? Their diet consisted of strict maize. It was strict maize and berries diet. That's why they so short over there. Y'all don't be noticing Mexicans be short as shit. The Muskogee, they don't grow that big. Nobody ever thought about why. Shit, fuck you up.
Man, pass the flatbreads home. Come on, Migo.
Say it again.
They say, pass the flatbread, amigo.
Hell no. I almost fell over, man. That's crazy. So when they got over here and in their story, I don't want to hop back on the laptop because it's glitching. It's glitching bad. So in their story, though, they named the different types of food that they saw when they got over here. That all that they could do was link up and say, bro, we got to conquer these people in order to have it. We would have gave it to them. We had more than enough.
Right.
If we go back the 2,000 years when we spoke on the cousins coming up out of the southern tip of Central America, bringing maize, our land was so fertile. Niggas found out, hey man, this shit grow year round.
Mm-hmm.
This shit grow year round if we bring it over there. And then we already got wild rice. Niggas start
Right.
growing the corn in the water with the rice. We're using the rice water to fertilize the corn or the maize. But they ain't ready for that science. It ain't for them.
Shit, we was already cooking red beans and rice.
What? Facts. Red beans and rice was already being put down over here on the coast.
Oh,
In
boy.
our eastern coast, southern coast, in the interior, man, the Ojibwe had them wild rice. And this coming from tall grass, bet for that bone. So it was plenty over here. It was so much food over here. You had people who said, shit, I'm just gonna eat from the water. So much food. When they got over here, they say, man, they got everything. We need to take it. But that was that mentality of those warring people. because the first group of Suki, the Mikosuki, that be people that became the Mikosuki, when they migrated up out of Mexico, going up and then following the Gulf and then going up the Chattahoochee, they weren't angry people. They were original Hichiti speakers. They weren't an angry people. It was those that came following them. Now look up the word Kawita and Muskogee and tell me it don't mean those that come following. Uh-oh. Dagger. But who they came following? The Hichiti. And what does Hichiti mean in Muskogee? To see the sun. They were following the people that went to see the sun. These are the people who went to go. All right. Why do you want to do this? You can't lie to the people. And I already let his people know he got 24 hours to take that down, or he's gonna regret it. Not physically, financially, he's gonna regret it. He's definitely gonna regret that one. Any more questions? Any questions?
Mm-mm-mm. I'm just playing with that blue fire in my mind. That's it. I ain't got no questions.
Facts. She say starvation causes desperation. But the thing is, their mentality coming up out of what they came up out of was already war. Because what the leaders in the Southeast know is that there was a meeting that it was established that once they got here, they would go to war. And this included so many other peoples. So when the story is told, it's gonna be confusing because for the first time, it's new, right? For the first time, like that's my first time hearing it, or my first time hearing it this way. But when we tell our story, someone always comes in and say, no. This is their origin. We have 4 different nations. Excuse me, no. 5 different that gave 5 different origins for people that they are not. Everyone wants to tell you where the Igua come from, but they never tell you that they come from the same place. So for dude to say that our people come from the Alabama, here is the dagger. Pa,
Yeah,
Red
nephew.
Cream.
What's
What
good?
state was Alabama annexed out of?
Alabama annexed out of Georgia.
Right. Right.
And Mississippi annexed out of Alabama.
This is crazy. So did we not explain that the East Coast and the Gulf Coast was called the same thing? So you considering the Alabama to be the grandparents.
But then when you look in the 1700s, all that from the East Coast all the way to the Mississippi, all that was called the Carolinas.
Was called Carolina. The Spanish called it Florida.
Right.
So when we looking at these names and trying to break them down to the states that they are today, you're gonna fuck up. You're gonna play. You're gonna play yourself. See, you saying that's our origin when our origin is in the East, but we got cousins in the South. Together, we make up what? The Southeast.
Right. That's why they call it Southeast.
Come on, thank you. This is literally why they call it the Southeast. The southern edge.
Right.
Siwanoki. Siwayi Shawani. That's two different languages. You want to hear it in another? I'm gonna give you what the Savannah said. Not the Taino said. They said Zubana. Zubana. That's the fertile land up there where the river's at. Ironically, that our stories say we originate in those rivers. The land brought up out of the water. The land is being dried and all of this shit. You don't think the land got the valleys and the hills and all of this shit? You don't think the rivers and the streams are being brought? It basically look like it's dropping down because the land is rising up. You don't think when that land got there, people came up out of that water? Beings, different animals came up out of that water? You got clans today that are earth clans that originate in the water. And we are some of the earth clans. All of us humans are a part of a family that originate up out of the water. You was a seaman with your helmet on, swimming through your daddy. You came from your daddy ass, literally. Came from his brain to his ass, out his penis into your mother's water. And out of that, you became a physical. There are clans that even say, oh yeah, boy, you know, I was already in the water. And shit, we ended up hitting land. And once we hit land and shit went right, like an incubation, right? We end up hopping out and walking on the land.
Why do you think we got so much ties to dolphins? Well, hey, you ain't hear from me.
That facts. Nobody's talking about our original languages consisting of clicks and even say what? Go ahead.
Clicks and beeps.
Facts. Clicks and sonar. What they call so right. And we do this today. Even in the Yamasi branch of Hichiti, their word for when you add clan to the end of a word or a family to the end of a word, it's a clique. That same clique became elongated with the Asians. So they wouldn't say Kawatakli or Nakosakli, they would say Nukusagi. So when we talking about being able to communicate in the water, when we're talking about being able to communicate within mama, right? When we got up here, things became a little lighter. More dangerous, but a little lighter. In the water, you got two hydrogens. So you ain't finna be opening your mouth and communicating like that, even though you would be able to make clicking sounds, which you can click without opening your mouth, right? When you think about Wale, our word was kui, tunakui, tunakui, tunakui. And then when you hear temukwa, kwa, you hear it in languages, but it's never repeat. So all of that goes along with certain families. You have certain families that don't pronounce certain sounds. It's not in their DNA. It's not in their language. It may not resonate with them. But within these sounds, they have brother and sister sounds that make up for the loss of one. So whereas one may say a word that's like a B, and or you would say Baba, right? They Baba, and somebody say Dada, and somebody say Papa. All of those are the same word, different dialect, because one of these languages may not have the B, the D, or the P. So this deals with your family, right? It deals with sentence structure, not just the words in the language, but it deals with sentence structure. The people mislabeled as the Khoisan, right? They are definitely some of those oldest people that didn't mix. This is why they still look this particular way. It's a lot of them that didn't mix, right? So, but they come from the dolphin. They speak on their ancestors coming up out of the water too, cause they actually come from the dolphin. And Credo Mutua Chikensa, rest his soul, right? Um, he actually explained this years and years and decades ago, excuse me, on YouTube. So you actually can find the video where he was explaining about the dolphins coming up onto the land, right? And this is the same thing with being born. This is the Big Bang. It happens in so many forms that they just specialized and called one of the events the Big Bang. It's literally something coming out of water, creating something new. This happens every day. Every day. But we explained it in our ways. The issue is with us explaining it our way and someone explaining it their way and someone explaining it their way is that someone in there is gonna lie. Peace, what's good, cuz? Someone is going to lie. And that's what Perryman did today. Perryman lied to you all. He attempted to make you think that we disagreed with his story. We just didn't pinpoint the exact areas because in 2 months, we're doing a webinar in 2 months. The Wale and the Yamasi, Shawnee, Shata, Tamukwa, and letting everyone know who came from where exactly. But see, he couldn't sit there and wait for the bill. He jumped the gun. He jumped in front of the gun.
False start.
Facts.
What's up,
Okay.
man?
Okay, flag. You literally, you played yourself. Literally. He showed us that he's not qualified. He's not qualified to be considered anybody's chief. We told your story months before you did. Only for you to say, no, they said it wrong, and then tell the same exact story. And then to top it off, you say, yeah, they mixed with the Yuchi and the Tamukwa and the Yamasi. You know, that's evident. So are the Coosa pure blood people? Because if so, y'all must be the people off Hills Have Eyes. Y'all must be the people from Wrong Turn. If you a pure blood, you must be. They not ready for this shit.
Right.
You don't know your own story, brother.
That's a shame. If you don't know it, say you don't know it. Don't pretend that you do.
And then to tell me my elder has the story right, but I got it wrong. You a crazy fuck. You're crazy to say, oh, your elder has the story right, but you got it wrong. Who the fuck did I get the story from? That's that hater in this DNA, man. That's that Western shit. That's that hater in his blood. Mm, mm, mm. He said Wale Origins. He said the Wale Origins, his band, clan, or school of thought. See, that's the asshole in him. He could have left it at just us two, but he wished to try to include other people in it as if it was gonna put a bad stigma on who we are. So the fact that he lied, he gonna have to pay for that. He got 24 hours to take it down from when I saw it, and I already sent that message. You're gonna have to pay for that. And we need that check made out to Otagi and Uwale. We need that. You lied. These people literally come. Pa, did it not say that they were created inside of the damn volcano?
Yes, it did. Yes, it did.
Would it not make sense that they got red fire
Right.
and they mixed it with the yellow fire
Mm-hmm.
that the Lenape had, and they made their own and became brothers of one fire? What color is those lava rivers? They're fucking orange.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Right.
Oh my God. This is too easy. And I got on Facebook real quick. I seen the guy say some shit like, oh, people now coming up on this ancient knowledge. Shut up. Niggas had this knowledge. It's just we starting to piece this shit together. Don't put yourself in some shit that we've been trying to keep you up out of, brother. Don't do it. Don't do it.
And then he got to ask himself, well, how did they get the ancient information?
How? Matter of fact, man, how did the Europeans know y'all story so well they helped y'all create a fucking book?
Which they call their Bible.
Which they call their Bible. How in the hell all you people, how does all the so-called recognized nations have their own tribal Bible? That shit don't sound familiar.
Right.
Let me hear niggas say they study Egypt and they call the coffin text their Bible, the Per Imheru their Bible, the writings of Unc Shoshone as their Bible. I say, bro, you a Christian. Straight up. You can call it what you want.
Mm-hmm.
You're a Christian at heart, brother.
That's how they became friends with the Europeans.
That's how they became friends. They needed specific things to make them become or be considered civilized, right? So that was one of them. Who is this? Oh, this cuz. Yo, what to play, cuz? See Coosa, 115. Oh, I don't know if he heard me. He on here though. I added him. Let me see. 115. See, this what I be telling people. Like, this what I be telling people. It's okay to leave people alone. Hold up. Okay. And I want to do a build. I actually want to do a build just going through their stories now. Because if you look at them, I'm gonna have to get back on the computer. In the Kushida origin migration, in his Bible, is what he called it, in his Bible. And let me see the numbers: 1, 2, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So on 17, it says the Creek and Hichiti translations. Okay, so they got Creek and Hichiti translations of this, but it says let me see, boom, boom, boom. Let me see if I can switch back. Where we at? Where we at? Where we at? Where we at? Okay, so oh shit, guess who giving this story, Pa?
Who?
Cherokee Leachy.
What?
This is Cherokee Leachy giving the story. Oh my God. Man, they got Cherokee Killer giving the story. And it's translated in Hichiti.
What?
Oh shit. See,
Man,
oh yeah.
can you share it on the screen?
Let me grab the laptop. Cause you know I got the book. Let me grab the laptop, pull up the PDF. Hold on. Let me see. Cause I know I ain't tripping. I know I ain't tripping. Hold on.
And then that's what you had asked, oh
Ooh.
boy, why the Cherokee knew was speaking Hichiti? And he
Remember
couldn't
I
answer.
asked him. Come on.
He couldn't answer.
And this is gonna be interesting. This is gonna be interesting. This is gonna be interesting. See, oh oh wow. Oh wow. Oh wow. Guess what the speech was given at, yo?
Down there.
It was in Savannah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. I'm remembering this now. This is the same meeting that Miku Otis didn't go to because they was gonna kill him.
Trying to kill him. Yeah.
Cherokee Leachy was like, bro, you good, bro. Bro say, fuck that. I see what they did to your uncle. I'm too old for that. He said, I'm too old. But
He was a part. He was a part of the family that said he wasn't gonna fight against the Yamasi.
facts. And the thing is, he had to get on brims for setting up certain groups of Yamasi.
Right.
Because, you know,
Why
brims
they
was
say
playing
Emperor
both
Grimm was a traitor.
sides.
That's why they
Say
say
what,
Emperor
Elder?
Grimm was a traitor. Right.
Facts. Ooh. Well, you in trouble. Ooh, he in trouble. Hey, he in trouble. Now, I told him, I don't debate for no PDF. I'm going to find it faster in the book. I read my books, and I know exactly where to go to in my books.
Right.
I read this stuff for real, man. This is crazy. Hold up. Or is this Brim son? Let me look this up real quick. Hold on. Let me go on mute, y'all. Yeah, y'all hold on. I can't go on mute. Y'all stay in tune for this. This is crazy. All right, can y'all hear me?
Yeah, we hear you.
Okay. I was just making sure because I know it dropped before. Um, Hold up. So this is what we're gonna look at. We on page 112. What is it in the PDF? 112. Hold on. 1 second. 1 second. Hold up.
But you know what? That's them being conceited and that's doing it to themselves. You know what I'm saying? That's what wind up happening. But they go feel it in the long run. They go be like, oh man, I should have left him alone. But I shouldn't call his name out. Don't call no name out if you ain't ready to battle properly.
Facts. Actual facts. Actual facts. One moment. Let me pull this up. Uh, to present, share. Okay, so matter of fact, this was let me see. Let me see. Let me see. All right, can y'all hear me? I'm on a laptop now. I had to switch over.
Yeah, we can hear you loud and clear.
Let me, oh, I'm on mute. My bad. Mic check. Mic check. You got
No,
me?
we can hear you loud and clear. We can hear you.
All right, perfect. So this is this is a part of one of these stories, right? So it's talking about it was talking about the owl. So they basically heard the hooting from an owl and ran. You feel me? It was running to the cave. They talk about white men coming to the cave and all of this crazy shit, right? Um, and they talk about them becoming drunk and all of this. Like these people been fucking with Europeans. Like trust me, like they've been fucking with the Europeans. So I was thinking this Cherokee Lychee, right? This Chiquili, right? This Brim's person. This he in relation to Tomochichi and shit, right?
Right.
So this is the story that was being written. And say that this speech was written in red and black characters on the back of a young buffalo. So they had buffalo skin, and it was delivered in the Indians' language. So it gives you everywhere it is, right? It tells you that it was written by him. It's in London at the British Museum, right? Talks about that. Um, and then it goes over Getchit actually translating
what it's supposed to have meant, right? Now it says there are two editions, right? It says two editions. And one is titled The National Legend of the Chattahoochee Tribes, and we know it. Here we go. You know what I'm talking about. Or the Chattahoochee Tribes. And this is 1870. So let me try to get into it, right? Let me get into it. So the Creek and talk about their translations. So what Chaliki, the head chief of the Upper and Lower Creek, said in a talk held at Savannah, and that's why I put it like that. Savannah, I knew that. Okay, interesting. But this is 1735, and it says which was handed over by the interpreter, written upon a buffalo skin, was word for word as follows. Right. So let me get to the speech. So this is his title, Chaliki, right? Emperor of the Upper and Lower Creeks, and Tichi, highest chief of the town of Coweta, Alichi, king. And you know what Alichi mean?
Medicine.
You know, you one of them. Red Crane, you know it. Y'all know what that means, right? This is his title, and this is an English translation of the Hichiti word. We know what that means. Right. So let's get into it. So this is all this shit, right? War captain and all of that. That shit's sweet, right? It's sweet. It's cool. But in time, the earth opened in the west, where its mouth is. The earth opened, and the Casitas came out of his mouth and settled nearby.
Come out of the cave.
But the earth became angry. It became angry and ate up their children. Therefore, they moved further west. A part of them, however, turned back and came again to the same place where they had been and settled there. The great number remained behind because they thought it was best to do so. Their children, nevertheless, were eaten up by the earth, so that, full of dissatisfaction, they journeyed towards the sunrise. Did we not talk about the volcano trembling? There was an earthquake. The volcano go off. Y'all like, bruh, we got to find where the fuck the sun at. We know where it go to, but we can't travel there. So we got to go where it comes from.
Right.
They came
east, to the east.
Come on. What? They came to a thick, muddy, slimy river, came there, camped there, rested there, and stayed there overnight there. Excuse me. The next day, they continued their journey and came, and one day to a red, bloody river. Didn't he tell me not? I'm not gonna say it. They lived by this river and ate of its fish for 2 years. But there were low springs there, and it did not please them to remain. They went towards the end of this bloody river and heard a noise as of thunder. They approached to see whence the noise came. At first, they perceived a red smoke. Didn't we just talk about this red fire?
Yep.
And then the mountain which thundered, and on the mountain was a sound as of singing. They sent to see what this was, and it was a great fire which blazed upward. This is the volcano erupting and made this singing noise. This mountain they named the King of Mountains. It thunders to this day, and men are very much afraid of it. They met a people of 3 different nations. They met a people of 3 different nations. They had taken and saved some of the fire from the mountain.
See?
And at this place, they also obtained a knowledge of herbs.
Hold on, you got to read that again. They did what?
I was lying, but this is his Bible. So they here met a people of 3 different nations. But you want to tell me that y'all didn't go up that mountain, that y'all didn't leave and go up that mountain when that one erupted. And then when you got the fucking Yellowstone, that one erupted too. This is what's going on.
Right.
They met a people, 3 different nations. They had taken and saved some of the fire from the mountain. And at this place, they also obtained the knowledge of herbs and of many other things. From the east, from the east, a white fire came to them, which, however, they would not use. From Wale. And didn't he talk about Wale being in the Alabama region also? We talked about us being in Alabama. We talked about us being from coast of Mississippi up.
Right.
So the Wale brought you a knowledge. You didn't use that either. From the west came a fire that was black, nor would you use that. You couldn't. It was soot. It wasn't fire. It was,
right.
This is what we're talking about.
It was
ashes. At last. Ashes. Thank you. Facts. At last came a fire from the north, which was red and yellow. This they mingled with the fire they had taken from the mountain, and this is the fire they use today. And yellow, this too sometimes seen. On the mountain was a pole. Listen to what they did to the baby when they got. Listen. On the mountain was a pole, which was very restless and made a noise, nor could anyone say how it could be quieted. At length, they took a motherless child. They took a motherless child and struck it against the pole.
Wait, they did who?
And thus killed the child.
Wait, what they took?
They took, how do you have, name me a baby that doesn't have a mother.
Wait, hold on. I thought the child belongs to the nation. It's just not the single mother.
So this tells you they weren't a matrilineal people. They weren't a matriarchal people. He said, I couldn't know the story unless I understood that. Being somebody that understands matrilinealship and what being a part of a matriarchy means, there is no child that doesn't have a mother.
Because all the aunties are the mother. Right.
Your auntie, my auntie is my mother. My sister's my mother, and I'm older than her.
Right.
They ain't ready for this type of information. So then they took the pole and they carry it with them to go to war. It was like a wooden tomahawk. They carried the pole with the blood of a dead child into war. These are the people you come from. I wouldn't want to be a part of these niggas. And then it gets even better. Such as they now use, and is of the same wood. Here they also found 4 herbs. They give you the herbs: snake root, red root, wild fennel, and little tobacco. These are the medicines that they say the best medicines to purify themselves at Busk. And at this Busk, which was held yearly, they fastened the offerings of the first fruits. Since they learned the virtues of these herbs, their women at certain times have a separate fire and remain apart from the men 5, 6, and 7 days for the sake of purification. If they neglect this, the power of the herbs will depart. Talk to me.
You had 2 types of fires. Most people don't know about that, but go ahead, nephew.
Facts. So it says, the women, it says, if this was neglected, the herbs would depart and the women would not be healthy. About this time, a dispute arose as to which was the oldest. This is their argument today. Are they still not trying to argue with us about being older than us? They were doing it in their own council.
And who was here first and all that? Yeah.
Like it's all that they argue about today. It says, and which should rule. and they agreed as there were 4 nations, they would set up 4 poles, but becomes red. Oh, excuse me. I dropped down. My bad. 4 nations and 4 poles, and would make them red with clay, which is yellow at first, but becomes red by burning. And they would then go to war, and whichever nation should first cover its pole from top to bottom with the scalps of their enemies shall be the oldest. They didn't even give a fuck about who, excuse me, mother. I'm sorry, mama. You know your baby a warrior. They didn't even give a fuck about who was the oldest. They were more focused on who could get the most scalps
and destroying.
Facts. See, cousin Al is my cousin for real. This that Haywood blood. He know we this.
Right.
We know what's up. These people, they was over there cutting heads off. Like Unc say, Pa say, nephew, we need that video. That they cutting heads off over here. Came over here like shit. You know we can't cut heads off because they don't play that shit. So we just gonna scalp them.
Right.
Now watch this. They all tried, but the Kawita, but the Coosa, right, covered their pole first. Hold on, one moment. So thickly that it was hidden from sight. Their pole was covered in scalps so much that you couldn't even tell it was a pole. Therefore, they were looked upon by the whole nation as the oldest. The Chickasaws covered their pole next. And the Alamadas and the Obicas did not cover their pole. Then the Alamadas, but the Obicas did not cover their pole higher than the knee. At that time, there was a bird of large size, blue in color, with a long tail and swifter than an eagle, which came every day and killed and ate their people. I wonder if the people of Wale worship a big blue bird that was like a serpent that they called Cuecuca, similar to the cucucan over there in Mexico. Yeah, I wonder. Right? They made an image in shape of a woman and placed it in. Okay, whatever. Fuck about that. They talk about that they killed the bird, right? And they carry its feathers into war. They have red, means war. They're white, is peace. But the bird was blue. Is it not ironic that every time they come across something blue, they try to destroy it? Right? They try to destroy it. Now, they're talking about what sort of path that was and who the people were who had been there in the belief that it might be better for them to follow that path. They went along to the creek called the Coosa Hachi, that is Coosa Creek. But it was rocky there and smoked. They crossed it going towards the sunrise and came to a people and a town named Coosa. Here they remained 4 years. The Coosa complained that they were preyed upon by a wild beast, which they called the man-eater or the lion, which lived in the rock. Did we not talk about Big Cat Clan getting on their ass out there? They talk about the panther. They talk about the American lion getting on their ass out there. People were transforming into their ancient families and getting on their ass. They say the water lion. You know what the water lion is? A fucking jaguar getting on their ass. But they had their magic too, right? Now, I'm looking in this story. this is still them migrating. I'm gonna try to took over, right? So me see if I can let me see if I can actually find if they let me see. Let's see. This is crazy. This is crazy. Matter of fact, fuck it. Hold on. There we go. So I was right. Let me see who on here. Got Red Crane on here. Say blue has always been my color. That's real. Let me see. So when the Spaniards conquered Mexico, right? They basically were talking about this story is speaking on the Muskogee being a part of that nation, being a part of that Creek Nation. Those of you who are watching, you've been here for a while, so I'll refer this book to you. The book is Thomas Woodward, Reminiscence, right? The Reminiscence of Thomas Woodward. It's letters that he put together when he was basically dealing with these different groups of Indians, right? And here we read this earlier this weekend where the Muskogee and the Alabama were on the war with each other, with the Muskogee basically migrating and crossing into the Mississippi, right? And what we will find later in this story is that again it say that the Alabamas had crossed the Ohio. They also crossed it. So it's not like the Muskogee didn't make it up there. So when we put in all these stories together, you get what I'm saying, all these migration stories together, we actually see what's going on, right? They waged war against the Alabama again. And they claim that the war originated because of the Alabama. But you have to understand, these people came into their land with 1,000 people and then came back into the land with 10,000. So say the Muskogee, having learned that the country which their enemies inhabited was towards the rising sun, in the region where the rigors of winter and where a great quantity of game of all kind is to be found, they resolved to pursue them a third time and to populate that country which is between the two Floridas. With this objective, they crossed the river Cumberland and the Tennessee and followed them north to the river Coosa, and on the banks of which the remains of the Alabamans had established themselves. So it says some went to seek asylum. Who is those that some? Where am I? All right, it says the latter, right? The Alabamas, having learned of the march of the Muskogees, did not think it well to await them. They abandoned their position and scattered. Some went to seek asylum against the Choctaws, and the rest repaired to Mobile under the protection of the French, who had just taken possession of the country. The Muskogees, Dagger. So tell him, show you this. Let's talk about his Coosa cousins that he claimed from the West. The Muskogees no longer find the enemies to fight, took peaceful possession of a country which they had just conquered. They established themselves on the rivers Coosa, Tallapoosa, Chattahoochee, Flint, Ocmulgee, Little and Great Oconee, and Ogeechee, and pushed their settlements as far as the river Savannah in Georgia, where the city of Augusta is now built. So the Muskogee, they took that for Perryman, right? For Perryman to consider his nation to be Muskogee is crazy. Let me see if I can pull up this link. Let me see if I can pull up this link. One moment. He called his nation Muskogee. The latest and greatest critics come from Wale Origins. So when he quotes me, right, and this is coming from the same book, when he quotes this book, he considers it to be wrong. When we know where he's playing on the European not having the definite place. But we've explained the place. So to create this web page as if we didn't know, he says, and so it goes with the various branches of our people known as the Coosa and the League of Muskogees. So it would begin with the westernmost of the Coosa and the group from that area. If y'all were originally one people, y'all would have the same story, right? You tried to separate the East and the West. Y'all got the same story, brother. See, he didn't want to include Montana and shit. And then the crazy part is when it mentions Mexico, right? Let me show you this. Let me show you this. This is a clown, man. This guy's a clown. Such places as the Red River, Rocky Mountains, and Mexico have been suggested as the speculative origins of these people. The reason he put speculative is because there were 3 different migrations, brother. 3 major migrations, as I should say. So there all wasn't just one, which you ended up pointing out because this is known. Don't mention Wale one time. Not directly. So with these various branches, you're going to begin with the West. The area is none other than New Mexico. Mexico. See, he put New Mexico as if it changes the idea that is no longer Mexico. Peace, what's going on? He literally put new in front of Mexico, right? Because we know this the state New Mexico, but he wanted to say New Mexico as if it takes away from it being Mexico. He adds Texas, he adds Oklahoma, he adds Kansas. Then he says, according to the legend itself, the people of Coosa were living in a place somewhere in the west where the ground began to shake and rumble. I just read this story in his Bible. This is no place other than New Mexico, right? And we done looked at El Mapias, excuse me. And Cuz already let us know, because this was hours ago. We already talked about that. So this is where you come from, and it says has been identified as being the Rocky Mountains region of New Mexico. You are agreeing with me. You're agreeing with me. But your problem is you don't like the fact that we showed that you come from over there while trying to tell the people over here who they are, and you're wrong. Because in the same collection of origin and creation story of migration tells, legends and stories, he was drunk writing this shit. Right? In the origin, creation, and migration tells, legends and stories, it is said that the Cushitas, upon coming to the east, came into towns and villages of the Cousas, who where the Coosa were already at. But the problem is, who the fuck gave y'all the land? Because now we have to look for the Coosa migration story, right or wrong. But he wants to be everyone else but himself. But himself. And since he did this, right? Since he did this, I'm going to show you what one of his own cousins said. I'm going to show you what one of his own cousins said, family. If y'all in the chat listening, please send the number 1 to the chat. Just drop the number 1 for me, like this video, and send this video to someone. I'm going to show y'all what his own cousin said about this. And this is what I mean. He claims to be Muskogee, a Perryman of the Muskogee. I'm going to tell y'all what his own cousin said. I got 2 ones in the chat, 6 viewers. Where my ones at? Because I need to know who really want to see this. I need to know who really want to see this. Cousin Al want to see it. Cousin Fire want to see it, right? So this is what, and let me go to his Bible, the book he called the Bible, right? Ligas Perryman was interpreter for the Creek chief. That Ligas Perryman was a cracker that was claiming to be Coosa. That's Lamar people, man. Now, it says the people who were afterwards known as Coosa or Tosa, and I asked him, I said, are Tosa and Coosa the same word? He denied it. That's how I know he's not who he's claiming to be. That's how I knew he's not who he's claiming to be. It says, but the people who were afterwards known as Coosa or Tosa Indians traveled eastward towards the rising sun until they came to a water too wide to cross. This is the Atlantic Ocean. They went back from this to a certain place and lived there a long time. By and by, they came to the same water again, but here it was narrow. The other shore was well wooded and pleased them, and they wanted to get over to it. Their leader, however, said, "We ought to cross, but I'm going to try an arrow." If it landed on the other side, he knew that they would get over. He shot. Therefore, his arrow went into the woods. The people remained there until they had gotten together some boats and rafts on which they crossed in safety. Then they established themselves where they found quantities of game. This again is the Mississippi. We never considered the Mississippi to be the Mississippi. But this is the river that they're crossing. After a while, they began moving east again. And they did this at intervals, always in the same direction. How do I know his story better than him? I know your story better than you, brother. At last, they settled permanently, becoming very numerous and established square grounds. So here goes the dagger. Remember, we talked about the bird. Who named them Coosa? One night, a long time afterwards, a dance was held, which all persons were present except the newly married couple, who were in some manner delayed. When these arrived at the square late at night, they found nothing but a lake. They remained on the shore of the lake watching and noticed that the birds which tried to fly across fell in and were drowned. One big crane, however, what is my medicine, man? One big crane flew over and said, "Coo, coo, coo." And they thought that should be their name. At this time, the couple had children, their descendants formed another big town because the bird did fly over the submerged village and safety. They named the town after it, saying, "We shall be called." And then the town's to this day, their descendants, the people of the Tosa, by saying, "We are the Coosa people." We migrate they ass from the east every time. Look at them taking. Look at their other cousins taking more scalps. This is crazy. The Chickasaws sometimes use the same expression to Abika. This being done, they commenced their settlements on the Coosa, the Tallapoosa, and crossing the falls of the Chattahoochee. They found the race of people with these people use bows and arrows with strings made sinews.
Mm-hmm.
Rome know how to make them shits. Paul know how to use fucking bladed grass and make the bow. But the issue, right, is every time we randomly click, they are always going. Okay, I got 5%. Let me go ahead and grab that. Grab that charge. But I don't know why he would even make that, knowing he didn't do nothing but agree with me.
Did he even read it to be like, hold on, I'm not gonna post it because
Hold up, let me text.
Be like, I was agreeing with him.
Facts. Actual facts. Man, crazy, man. Man, this man is crazy. Dagger. See, these are his people. When these people or this group of people that they call Hichiti, right, says the origin of the Hichiti is given in various ways. But this is what I have heard regarding them. These are your Lenape. These are your Coosa that came from Asia. The true name of these people is Atakata. They claim that they came to some place where the sea was narrow and frozen over until they reached the Atlantic Ocean. They traveled the sea from whence the sun came. Now they found themselves blocked by an ocean, and being tired, they lingered along the coast for some days. The women and children went down. They were shown to the old men, who said, "These are pretty things, and we are tired and cannot proceed further on the account of the ocean, which has intercepted us. We will stop here and rest." Is this not what we just read?
Yep.
We also read about them meeting white people, right? We also read about them meeting white people and getting drunk. We read about this already. This is ridiculous.
From their book.
If you want to know about Wale, right? I ain't even know Unc dropped the one in here for me. If you want to know about Wale, you're going to have to speak to the people that are Wale. If you want to know about Yamasi, you have to speak to the people that are Yamasi. You want to speak to you have to speak to the people that actually have the information.
Right.
But to say that I'm lying and then to quote me, well, not quote me, quote a book that I put up, add on to the book, that's some crazy shit, brother. He's a crazy person. I see why he blocked me before he made that. So he can he can do the slander, but what happens when the facts remain the same? These are facts that remain the same. So talk to me, free your mic, man. What's going on, man? Let me send this link out too.
They did it to themselves.
Oh man,
they did it to themselves, nephew. They did it to themselves. See, it's him. It's Casey Chisholm, right? Turtle Game Midwest. It's all of them that did it to themselves, bro.
Yeah.
They were told to leave us alone, and they didn't want to leave us alone. Nah, they had to get
Mm.
When you mistaken real Indians for Wabos or Abos, this is what you get.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
Y'all got y'all fire from a volcano. Which we already knew. We already knew that before reading the book. Isn't that something?
Ain't that's crazy? We put that down before they even knew it. Before they knew their story, we put it on. We already knew it. So He need to chill out with that, man. Hold on, let me get this. Matter of fact, let me get off of here and get on here so I could close out. Cause I was gonna do 1:30. We done did 3 hours.
Already?
Man, it's been 3
Damn.
hours. I looked at. I can't believe it. It's been 3 hours.
Damn. That's what
Yeah, it's
happened
been
when
3 hours.
the good time roll.
Facts. So, you could go ahead and do your closeout before I close out if you wish.
I'd like to say Shonabishi to everyone who actually was on here. You know, mostly the family members that's in the audience and in the comments section and everything. And I also like to say Yoko Ki, Ogla. You know, thank you, people. You know, so yeah. Yeah. Oh, the red stick is here, baby. If we look, our red stick didn't come from no blood or no baby either.
Hey, hell no, for real. We ain't come from the blood of no baby. They were
Oh
tripping.
boy. Oh
Yeah, them
boy.
people were tripping.
Yeah, they
They were
tripping
tripping.
hard. Yeah. And no did we cross Fish River.
Mm-hmm. And then they admit to going up to Ohio
Right.
because when we put these stories together and they say the Coosa I had to switch. So when we put these stories together and we look at it and it showed the Coosa migrated from the west and came to the east and then set up a town, and then the Kushita came over in that town. That's literally the map that I showed of the map of Upaha. When I showed the map, I say they were given the outskirts of the nation, and then they helped the Lenape come in. That's literally what they did.
Right, that's what they did.
That's what they did. And that's why he claims to be Yuchi, because his people were one of the shamed people. Dagger.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Dagger.
You let them speak long enough, they tell on themselves.
Right. Tell on
Hensei.
themselves.
Hensei.
But yeah, so with that, I'll close out. I want to thank everybody that stayed the whole time. I want to thank any of those that even tapped in, like the video. Please come back to the video and like it and leave a comment, because they somehow, the live comments never stay up on the video. So please come back. Just leave a like and a comment. It really means much. Thank you all for joining.
You know what, nephew?
Talk to
You
me.
know what? The fireworks really went off today.
What? What? Hey, that mountain damn sure thundered today. Mm-hmm.
On the 4th of July.
And his ass was lying too. He a
Oh, the
part
4th
of
of
it.
July.
Listen, man.
And we just busting that ass in love. It ain't no hate. We just busting that
It was
ass in
no.
love, like I always say.
I thought it was good, but then he blocked me, and then he came back and made that and put it on their website. It's like, bro, come on, bro. Like
That's
you
what
eat.
old boy. That's what old boy do. He blocked me. Then he come back and give me more information to bust his ass. I'm like, okay, keep on giving me that rope. I can hang your ass with it.
Right.
Oh shit. Because he also said that, oh, you don't know what you're talking about, and that we both dumb. Okay, we gonna show you.
Okay. If you say so, brother.
Y'all federal recognized Tribes, y'all in a world of trouble.
But thank y'all for tuning in. I'll be back on later on today. Gonna get in this house, get something else to eat, watch a little bit of YouTube. I'm gonna watch this video back. That's what I need to do. And then I'm gonna format this for him.
Well, I can tell you this was one fire ass video.
Facts. Right. But the next one, I do want to move that red and blue build up to today. Cause Saturday I might just drop that Lenape video and just drop it in 3 different parts.
Right.
Bro. I'll figure it out though. Thank y'all.